Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the chart behind me, which is of Peloton Interactive, ticker symbol PTON. And so I wanted to go over this one, starting the stream off on it because they reported earnings and tanked. So on the day, down more than 24%, closing the day at a price of $4.21, being up a couple percent in the after hours at $4.30. But really, what you can see in this chart is this big red candle down with a gap down from the previous day, which had a low of $5.56, marked by this blue line here. And it does look like Peloton made a new low today on February 1st, hitting a low of $4.17, crushing the previous low of $4.28, marked by this yellow line, which was hit on October 27th, as you can see here. And so I just wanted to go over a couple things that stood out to me. I had wanted to make a video on this, but I don't really have enough time. So I'm just going to do it during the stream and yeah, put it out after the stream as a clip. And so looking at the chart, one thing that I noticed that seems pretty compelling to me is this parallel channel. Let's see, if I go back a little bit, you can see these three touch points, including the low from the middle of May and then highs over here. Hey, what's up? I'm just going to try to like crank this out and then I'll go over meta in a second. What's up, Nameless? And then you can see these other two pivot points here, one being the high in middle of October and then also the low, a low right here on October 19th. And so with that parallel channel, there were some breaks above and below, but I think it's pretty cool scrolling back in time. We can see this low here served as a bounce there off of the top of that channel. At the end of 2022, did get some consolidation in it. And yeah, so I'm just curious if price will be residing in this channel for a little bit now that it's broken back in there. And then, you know, I do think that with this being at this level below this line, it does seem pretty bearish. But with the week not being over, I do think we could possibly get a bounce and a close above 428. But I just wanted to do a couple Fibonacci retracements, or really one and then adjust it, because I think it highlights some pretty compelling levels with this. So really just based on the low here to the high here, I'm going to do that retracement. So from 428 to 724. So I'm just going to adjust this. Sorry for being lame. I'm just going to do this real quick. It's pretty cool though. Okay, and so now I've got that retracement up there. And okay, and so now I've got this retracement up here, and from it we can see, let's see, the 100% retracement, of course, at $4.28. We are below that, and then there are these levels to the upside, you know, really. So this retracement, I should note that when you do a retracement from the bottom to the top, that is looking for levels to the downside. And so we're below all of these levels. And so if we do kind of an extension of that retracement down to the 1618, that would be at a price of $2.45. Do I think price is going to go there? No, I do think that it will find support within this channel, maybe around $4 or $3.85. I do think it will reside in there for a little while. But one thing that's really cool about this, let's see, I locked it. I'm going to unlock it. This retracement is if we consider just this run up from the low here to the high. If I move the bottom over to that, we can see, let's see, what was the low on that day? The low is $5.31. I'm 9 cents off. Right around there. we can see that the 1618 for this retracement is at $4.12. So just below the low of the day of $4.17. So I'm really curious to see if that actually serves as support. And so I do think that, if you're long Peloton or if you're holding the bag, I'd be keeping an eye on $4.12. If that can hold, I think that we could be retesting the top of this parallel channel, maybe going back up to like $4.50. But if we do break below that, I do think it's the bottom side of the channel or that other Fibonacci retracement that I had up there, which is going down to a price of $2.45. So keep that in mind. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like it. Oh, crap, I'm screwing up, sorry. But those are just my thoughts. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks a lot for watching. Cool, I almost hit stop recording after that. But yeah, I just wanted to, I feel like Peloton might be a ticker that would be of interest because of, the big volatility today with the huge drop following earnings. Also it being really cheap, relative to where it's been in the past. So, and that's not to say that it's going to go back up to those levels, but, it just seems like an interesting ticker, and maybe it would, be of interest to get some more people, bring them into the channel. But yeah, I can only really do like 3 videos in a stream in a day, or maybe 4 videos. And yeah, I was just really curious to do this. It'd be on the back burner and I wouldn't do it until, there's less interest following this big drop. But anyways, I'm going to type in Meta here so we could look at that. And I do have this ticker JAGX there. Somebody did request it, and I will go over it in a minute. But not everybody tunes in for the streams, and so I don't know that they'll be looking at it, and I'm not too excited about that chart to do a video on it. Yes, looking at Meta, I was apparently eyeing it here, and I could have, bought it on these levels, and I didn't. But yeah, so Meta up 15% after hours. Yeah, good call. I was going to make a video on Rocket Lab yesterday, but it didn't seem very volatile. It just seemed kind of flat and boring. So I was like, I'll wait until something exciting happens. And so I just put out a video today, but I didn't notice the after hours price. And so I could have made the video yesterday, but also cool to see, where it ends up. Yeah, damn, up 15%. This is crazy. Is this an all-time high for it? 52-week high is 406. So yeah, if this holds somewhere, that's going to be a gap up, I imagine. That's pretty crazy. Anybody, a few people who are watching, anybody holding this? It's pretty crazy. Like that's... I need to take a step back, look at the weekly. Yeah, man. Meta just declared its first dividend. Here's what investors should know. Meta Platforms a strong buy on robust growth and positive future prospects. Yeah, but I mean, with it up that much, I wonder, how sustainable is that going to be? This here, you don't have bearish divergence. You have higher highs in the price and higher highs in the RSI as well. So yeah, I just wonder where that could go. Yeah, I've got this, apparently 316% up. It's pretty crazy that it's going up following that big run. Man. Yeah, and I think it's really interesting too. The thing I've been noticing is whenever there are these like crosses, I would think, oh, that's a topping signal, but then it gaps up, and that happened with Plug a couple times. One that I noticed after the fact, and then just recently I had suggested that it might happen again. Pretty crazy. And so yeah, this is going to be 450. What's the market cap? 1 trillion. Yeah, I would have thought. I mean, this is probably based on the closing price, that trillion, based on the value here, because that's not changing. But I would think that at a market cap of like a round number, 1 trillion, 2 trillion, whatever, following earnings, it would tank. So I bet there are a lot of people who bought puts on it. That's yeah. I think did Amazon have earnings as well? I might actually I'm gonna request that. I'm gonna request I look at Amazon. So let's see. This is up, yeah, 7% in the after hours, uh, half as much as Meta, and I'm actually gonna put the corporate actions on here so I can see. Well, actually, I don't think it doesn't even show the earnings when they happen on Webull, but it shows them over here. Um, yeah, so it's going to 170. I wonder if it'll get to like 177, what level that would be at. Yeah, I've just been going on like a rampage with Fibonacci retracements. I feel like they're really useful and they kind of take the emotion out of it, or the interpretation. And then you find other levels that make sense based on, what you see in the chart. And so, yeah, I wonder if this would like find support around 166 for Amazon. Um, and yeah, I feel like I made maybe 2 videos on Amazon. I think just one. And yeah, I mean, I like with the mega cap companies, I get really nervous because if it comes down, it could be down for a long time. And yeah, I think I probably made, where were these? Where are the touch points for these lines? Yeah, I probably made it, I think, when it was in this channel here, around there. Weekly time frame, so yeah, probably around that orange line. I'm not sure. I don't know. So Nameless is asking, do you think the Dow will top this week? Seems like the Nasdaq topped this last week. So I don't know. And actually, I'm not sure of how to look at the Dow. Is that like a... Oh, crap. Something... I think my keyboard's maybe getting wonky. Crap, I might need to plug it in. No, I think... Is this Dow Jones Industrial Average? I should know that. So I'll put that on here. So, yeah, so let's see. SPX, yeah, that looks like it's topped. But, I mean, we could see what happens at the end of the week. There's this gap up here. And it did close, just let's see. Close 49.06 and the high was 49.06. Like it was less than $1, like 80 cents above it. The high was 80 cents above the close. So I mean that could continue. It's quite possible this could go up to 5,000. And this was just a little bit of a panic from like the FOMC and stuff like that. Dow Jones Industrial Average. I'm not used to looking at this. Let's see. Look at it on the weekly. I think it might depend on, what the candle looks like for tomorrow. If it closes in like the lower half of this, then that could be, a topping signal. But yeah, I mean, yesterday, the 31st, did get this pretty big wick up. And today's close was basically at the high. So the high 38.522, close 38.519. So pretty close to the top there. But, we still have this wick, the high 38.588. And so we'd want to see a close above that. But looking at it on the weekly time frame, this doesn't necessarily look like a topping signal. So, yeah, I mean, all of this stuff could continue on. It's possible that we could see the market's not at a top. And I think with Meta going up 15%, Amazon going up 7%. I don't know what the other earnings were for today, but I know there was a big one. Another big one. Was it Netflix? Did Netflix have earnings today? I don't know. But another like Magnificent Seven. And so if those are going up, I think that, yeah, I mean, that's not going to be priced into this. This is up 1% in the after hours. This does look like it could be a topping signal, but it could also be, a fake out. And with Meta and Amazon, this could rally up to 5,000. So yeah, I'm like, and that's partly why I feel like I'm usually early to positions. This is on the weekly. I don't want that. And so like with the SOXS, I trimmed my position a little bit. I could have trimmed it higher at a higher price. That kind of sucks. But yeah, I mean, I just want to be able to make sure that I can buy more if it puts in newer lows, if it goes below 437. And yeah, so from like if for SOXS, if 549 was the high and also just being right below 550, I would think that's kind of a psychological level. With it going up here, yeah, like for me, I'm just trying to like, I don't know, recognize the levels a little bit better and act on them. And if there is weakness in this, if there is a pullback, if the market does continue higher, if the SPX goes to 5,000, I want to be able to buy more of this, but lower than $5. So, so yeah, I mean, it's quite possible that the top is not in for the market and that these things are going to continue down. But I think that the top is looming for them, definitely. And I might just put this up and see, change high to low. Oh, this is one that I was pretty excited about this. Aquestive Therapeutics, I put a video out on it suggesting or being very excited about this inverted head and shoulders or inverse head and shoulders pattern. But we did get this pullback. And so now really, I mean, this just looks like, I've been thinking this is just bullish consolidation. Tried to add as much as I could down here. But now it's like, up 11, almost 12% on the day. And so I just drew this retracement based on the high here to the low here, just thinking about, what are levels that it might bump into that I could trim at? And then if it does stall out and pull back, I could buy them back just at a lower level. Maybe bring my average price up. But if I trim at the 786 here, which I didn't have an order filled today at this level, but I hope to trim my position a little bit tomorrow. And then if it pulls back, then buy those shares back and then let it continue higher. SINTX Technologies. Is that Syntex Technologies? What's your take? Possible squeeze? SINT. Okay, I'll look that up. Hey, more money. What's up? Let's see. Oh, and I'm going to, rather than searching things up there, I'm just going to go to the request tab and do SINT. And then after this, I'm going to go over JAGX because somebody had requested that. And let's see. Wait, what am I doing here? I'm doing this completely wrong. Sorry. Add symbol. Yeah, okay, here. Okay, I don't get why I can't just add it to what it's in. There we go. All right. Close that. I feel like this is, and this is on the daily. Okay. I mean, it is possible this is a reversal signal. How far did it go down yesterday? Almost 34.5%. And so if it were to, from the high here, what is it? It's up 3% in the after hours. It go up 60%. I mean, man, I hate it when you guys bring up stuff like this because it's like, well, I could just throw $15 into this, buy 100 shares, and see what happens. Um, Because yeah, I did that with FIE, I think, and I lost $2. I closed that position. It's probably here. I'm gonna pull that up and see. Yeah, no, I mean I was gonna buy at I think um I think 17 or something, and then I bought it like 16.50, and yeah, and then I sold at 14.50, I think, a couple days ago. Just like, this is bleeding. I think this is my exit right here, which had a high of 15.40. I missed that, so I think I sold on the next day. Yeah, you got to cut your losses because I just saw this as bleeding. And let's see, is there any like reversal signals? And I hope the mic sounds all right. I feel like it sounds a little funny. Maybe it's just maybe I got the volume turned up too high. But hopefully this sounds good. Um, but yeah, I mean, just seems like, something scary to, but yeah, what's the reason for this dropping? So 17 hours ago, they partnered with the Army for 3D printing. Why would that? So yeah, what is this company? Is an advanced ceramics company. The company is focused on providing solutions in a variety of biomedical, technical, and anti-pathogenic applications. The company develops and manufactures ceramics for personnel, aircraft, and vehicle armor. I wonder if the ceramics would be like, uh, yeah, I don't like, is that like body armor? Yeah, I guess body armor. The company is manufacturing, research, and development of advanced ceramics for external partners. Focuses primarily on the research, development, and commercialization of medical services manufactured with silicon nitride, whatever that means. Um, but yeah, or maybe that's just like whether it's like amputees or um, yeah, you have 1,200 shares at 15 cents. Yeah, I mean, I wait to see what happens um, tomorrow. But I mean, yeah, what's happened in the past? So this, yeah, I mean, this is like on this day, you saw this big red candle, it goes down 12.5%, 12 and 2/3%. And then you get this little hammer uh, reversal signal, and then it goes up 28%. And yeah, I mean, so I feel like you got that here, a signal that I would think would suggest a flip. Um, and yeah, I mean, you got something like that here as well, but um, the move following it was up 6.5%. But that was just one day. You get this big. Oh man, this would give me a heart attack going up that much and then pulling back. Um, and then I'd just be like, oh man, I'm out. I'll take my 6.5%. Um, and then this big green candle, 21%. Let's see. I mean, are there any examples of it having like a reversal signal, but then tanking? Um, and here's another one. Um, and this is like, the same, but for the opposite direction. Um, yeah, I feel like I don't know if it would necessarily be a squeeze, but I think this could definitely rebound. And if, this is down 34.5% yesterday, I think, yeah, I think that this is bad news. Bad news in that, FOMO. Um, that, yeah, buying the after hours price of 15.49, buy 100 shares. Um, it's not nothing too crazy, but just to have a little bit of fun with it, that's tempting. Um, yeah, and I guess on the note of kind of like risky plays, I'm gonna go over Jag X. Somebody requested this. I imagine they won't be watching, into the stream looking at this. Um, but yeah, I said I'd cover it, and I just forgot to because I got so many requests during the stream last couple times. But yeah, I think the person was asking about it over here, maybe, and yeah, I hope they took profits on the 26th because yeah, that down 2% from that previous day, but if you had bought here, gone up to just what the open was, 22%. I actually want to look at this on the hourly, see what that. Yeah, wow. So, yeah, this has a high of 14.75 cents, but if we look at this on the hourly, it's a high of 18.40. And so, yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, that's crazy. You buy the close here, go up like 65% or so. Can't see it with the 67%, but then you diamond hand it and you end up, I guess it's, oh man, break even almost, a little bit up, or no, it's still down. Down 2%. What am I doing? But yeah, that, like, I feel like that was the move. If you were in it, cool. If not, it's probably going to do something like, you had the move there, do something like this, and then drop off. So I'm avoiding this one. One that I did pick up today is a channel favorite, Fisker. No, this is, wait, what, this Peloton, what the hell? Fisker, there we go. Yeah, I think, I don't know, I think it was just from a stream I was talking about. Yeah, I mean, I could see this double bottoming at like 75 cents. And then like today, I think right before the market opened, I was like, I think I noticed these candles just like, oh, I mean, that could go down. That could hit 75 today. So I placed an order and it got filled. And so, yeah, I've been accumulating a pretty good amount of Fisker. My average is below $1, so it's easy to sell covered calls. And if I have to, I have enough shares that I'm fine to get rid of some at $1. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this move a lot higher into the future. And yeah, I feel like there's so many of the EVs that have just been like beaten down and they're just at pretty, they've just been a lot of returns with them. So I'm really curious to see how Lucid continues to play out. I think that's going to continue. I think it's going to, like, I'm pretty sure the max pain for Lucid is $3 for this week. And so, I mean, I feel like an ass, but I want this to close at below 350 because I sold a covered call. Could have sold it for more money and could have sold a strike of $4. But yeah, I kind of view this as, I don't know. I think I just did this retracement for myself. Maybe I did it during a stream. But that, going up here, it does look like that's topping signal. It does look like it's getting rejected from the 236. So it's like pulling back to that level, but that's acting as resistance. And so I could see this actually, I graded out, but that line here, I should like make it purple, make it stand out, make it thick. Yeah, that had served as like resistance here and, broke through it here, but I could definitely see price coming back down to that level. which might coincide with the 618 around 303. And so I think my average is below $3. But if it does come down to that level, I'd probably add. So yeah, I think that's I'm pretty excited by the Lucid chart, and also Neo. I think there's just been so much bearish sentiment about it, but it doesn't look good. It's below these levels, but I'm really curious to see where it closes tomorrow, because if it closes above $6, that would be back above here. Looking on the weekly, that would, in my opinion, be like a bottoming signal, pretty strong. And it did come down to the $5.43, 1618. But I had an order, it didn't get filled. So I feel like it's got a lot to go up. What are my thoughts on BOIL? Yeah, I mean, it's like one day it's green and I'm like, oh, this is good. And then the next day it bleeds more. I might actually pull up the natural gas chart, because it does show something that I think is not so great. But I do think that we're approaching a bottom. I think that, it could just, it could be something like this, who knows, where there's some consolidation. It continues, it's only halfway down or something. But I think if we look over at the natural gas chart, that does look like it's a bearish engulfing candle. This is the candle from Thursday. I guess this is like pre-market or something. I'm not really sure how. I'm not too familiar with TradingView. Still learning it. But yeah, this does look like a bearish engulfing candle. So it doesn't seem so good. Price is the low. Let's see, the low so far on this day was $2.04 on this day. The low, $2.03.4. I feel like $2. I think it might settle around $2. So that's coming down to here. And so what would be nice if we saw a wick down to $2, and then, yeah. Oh, and one thing that I've done in previous, when we were on the last downtrend, I did a, let's see, what tool? I want the channel tool. I think it's probably in here. Let's see, regression trend. I think this is what I want. So from here, yeah, this looks like it could be breaking out, or, but, maybe it's just a bull flag. I'm not too familiar with the tools on here. So I'll do it from the high here. I guess I could extend it. Let's see, extend to the right. Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably want to adjust that a little bit. Yeah, I need to work on the tools and TradingView. But yeah, I feel like there's been a lot of despair, and like I just feel like the sentiment is that this is hopeless, and that's like what it was like over here. I lost a lot of hope. I've stopped adding to my position in UNG because I thought that it would continue going down. And BOIL, yeah, this one, and one other thing too that I've been learning, just as far as ETFs go, that are having access to commodities accessible, is that they're based on futures, and every month they roll over, and that causes the value to go down. And so if you look at the chart of BOIL or, UNG, it's just going down over the course of history. And so that's just like that's called slippage, I believe what it's referred to as. And that is basically just like an artifact of that rolling over of contracts. The value of these ETFs goes down over time. It's always going down. And they just serve as a mechanism for people to have access to the commodities. So if you want to trade them for swings like this, it's good. Or if you want to short them on the way down, it's good for that. But as far as long-term holding goes, these just bleed. And it's not ever going to go up to these levels. They're just gonna continue to do reverse splits, like they had just recently done with UNG, and that didn't affect the price action at all, like it would with a stock. That's just a function of using one of these ETFs to trade commodities. That's just a factor of it. And so looking at UNG, I redrew this, I think. This at low of $18.90. I think my last buy was $19 for this. And I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens. I'm not, I've basically been buying, one share every 10 cents it goes down. And I didn't buy one at, the low 1884. I didn't buy one at 1890. Because I just want to see what happens, just like, over here, we really needed to see it, show signs that it's breaking out before the big move up. And so I think at this point, I'm just waiting for natural gas to show signs that it has hit the bottom. And I think it's pretty near. Over here though, we did get the RSI down to 17.43. Cold. Yeah, I should always just buy cold. It's stupid. This is also looking at, UNG. This is a higher low for both of them. So this is no divergence there. With BOIL, you have a lower low and a higher low in the RSI. So that's potentially bullish divergence, which might be total BS with something like BOIL, with natural gas, because it always just destroys everybody. I think that I'm really curious to do the update video on Sunday. It's just going to have one more candle on here. I went over all those levels in detail, and I kind of realized that, and just like me learning, Fibonacci's and how to use them better, all of these levels are kind of, from the past. So they're not going to matter that much for the future price action. And so this one, which I did with the assumption that this was the bottom. Of course, that's wrong. If I were to adjust this and move it over here, those are the levels I'd want to look to as far as what price would be going to on the upside. But for this retracement, that was to find levels that it would go to on the downside. Apparently, it did a full retracement, which more than full retracement. And I don't know that it's going to come down to 162. I feel like $2 just being a psychological level. I think that's going to be support. I feel like I lost a couple of people going on about natural gas. So if there are any requests, and actually, I think, I think I had mentioned Lucid having a strike or max pain of $3. So I think it'd be great if Lucid closed the week above $3. The bulls are in control, but it might dip to $3. But I do think it would find support around there. So we'll have to see. But if there are any other requests, any other tickers, I think NEO, I went over that. Let's see. Requested fuel cell. I was looking at this. It does look like it got rejected from 130. Did I get out of natural gas? No. I was contemplating trimming. Yeah, I don't usually like fully get out of positions. Like I did with Polestar. That seemed clear to me it was going to turn around. I could have made more money on it continuing to go up, but I bought back today. Actually, I should pull up Polestar after I go over UNG. Um, yeah, so I mean, I think on this bounce, I think, well, let's see. Yeah, I could have take trimmed some here and it would have made a, like a very small profit, but really just to take the money out so I could buy the dip if it dips more. I should have done that. Um, and then I think this was so this is Thursday. Yeah, what's Thursday, Wednesday, Monday, Friday? Yeah, on Friday I bought the dip here with Boyle though. On the 29th, I bought one share at the low was, yeah, which actually no, that was Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday over here. So on Friday the low was 22.57. Yeah, I don't know when I bought a share. It might have been over here. Yeah, it was over here. Actually, I don't know. Um, I'm negative in it. I could have sold it up here. Yeah, it had to have been. So like this is. Yeah, I don't remember when I bought it, but I bought. I'm looking at the daily. Yeah, I don't know. But I could have sold this share. It was just one share just to kind of play with it. Um, just to make like $1 and then, okay, I took profit, I'm still in UNG. Just keep an eye on that one. But yeah, I mean, I'm just holding and I'm going to wait to see if this starts to really consolidate. It looks like it's forming a bottom before moving up. And that's really going to be based on the natural gas chart. And yeah, I mean, I think that we're near the bottom, or, I'm expecting to hold through whatever the bottom is and whatever the retracement levels to the upside. I hopefully at least make 10% profit on it. But I'll make my sells based on Fibonacci levels for UNG. And yeah, I mean, I feel like it's usually like, a week of crazy volatility going up and then, or weeks of it, and then, just like a bunch of bleeding. And then, yeah, so I'm just gonna emoji. I see that you wrote C. Check on C. Yeah, I'll do that. And then so I'll add C here, and I'm gonna do Polestar because I am pretty stoked about that chart. But yes, C alphabet skills. Oh, this went up a lot, 6%. Or I guess price change. I'm gonna organize this by. There we go. Yeah, so that's. Let's see. Well, it's pretty cool. I think I probably drew this line during a stream. So it's kind of cool that it, consolidated there. It looks like it's a bull flag, I imagine. But I wonder if this is a fake out to the upside because you got this wick here. Highest close is $40.65. And this wick up is to $40.79. So I think it'd be really good to see closes above those levels. And so I wonder if this move is kind of a last, hey, pump it up and then offload shares here and then drop it. I wonder. But yeah, so this, like, so doing a Fibonacci from here, then down to here. So there's that. So that would suggest that, this is a level, 786. that price might be getting rejected there. So I would look, I mean, this to me looks like it could be a fake out that it's not going to continue higher. And so I would wait for another close, ideally being above, where is this gap at? $40.40, somewhere around there. Ideally being above the high on the 30th. So that was Tuesday, I guess. So yeah, I'd wait to see for a close above that. If it closes above that, I think it's going to go higher. And then, could be moving up to test this. But if it can't make that, then I think it would be going down. Yeah, so this is like, move up in this consolidation. Is this bearish or bullish? From this downward retracement, this level would be one that price would go to and potentially get rejected at. And so it might be there. If it does get rejected, and this is the high. Oh, that's the wrong tool. Fibonacci from 35 up to here. Right around there. Yeah, then it retraced to 382. Yeah, I don't know. I'd want to see another strong day putting in a higher close because this is closing like right around that level, like very like teetering around it. And teetering, I should look up PayPal because it is not. I've been on the sidelines with it because I wasn't too convinced by it. Polestar, yeah, I mean it went up here. I think I sold somewhere around here, thinking that it was going to get rejected from the wedge. Here, drops back down into the wedge. And so I'm wondering if the 786 at a price of, $1.75, I'm wondering if that will serve as support. Gap to the upside. Hopefully I don't have too many lines up here. I've got a lot. I might just delete these, clean it up a little bit. But yeah, I'm curious to see if this goes down to 175. And yeah, when this did come down, I did buy one more share, because I'm, just to have a position and to, keep an eye on it. Added, one at $1.93, and then hoping to load around 175. If that does seem like it's serving as support, and then I think that could be, yeah, I mean, it could continue more, or it could just, break down. So I don't know. I feel like I've been, made some good calls with the EV stocks lately, and so I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. But yeah, I'll look up PayPal, see what that's done, because I think that's, yeah, man. And they've got earnings coming up less than a week away, next Wednesday, I believe. Excuse me. But yeah, rejected from, man, that's crazy. What's that line from? Oh, that's what I based it on. That line. But yeah, this has just come back to these levels. It does look like it's acting as support. And so, yeah, I mean, this is really just going to be like, if it's above these levels before earnings, I think it's going up. If it's like at them or like in the middle here, I don't know. If it's below them, going down. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, really, like this last week when it wicked down to like below 60, that might have been a really good buying opportunity. But yeah, let's see what are the indicators say about this. And it's like on a red day, it's bearish. On a green day, it's bullish. I don't really find these things to be that useful. Yeah, if there are any requests, I see there are a few people watching. Happy to go over any tickers. I've been getting a few in the chat, and then yeah, just going over ones that stand out. Let's see. Yeah. So I might just go over the. See, I might actually look at. Ooh, actually, I might. What the last video wasn't too popular, or not. Doesn't warrant another video just yet. But I like looking at uranium. Like Gareth Soloway's been, suggesting this is going to decrease, and I just see this, giant cup and handle formation, and having broken out of this downtrend. And then I'm thinking, oh, this looks really strong. It's hitting a new high. But then I look at the RSI, and that's lower high. This is higher high. That's bearish divergence. And so I think that this wick up here is a topping signal, and that this will be pulling back. And it might be, just pulling back to $31, 30.74. Could be coming down to, where this gap was. Maybe there's a little bit of a shelf there. 29.30. Or, it could be coming back down to that orange line, which is like the top of that cup. And I could be testing that as support then. So this is a little bit of a breakout. It needs to come back, retest that, bounce, continue higher. And so, yeah, I'm very curious to see what happens with this. I had a position in NXE that I was adding to, but then I've been trimming it. Now I don't have it anymore. It's kind of sad. But, yeah, I did not expect it to go this high. Sadly, I think I trimmed my position based on this Fibonacci retracement at 788. It was just one share, so it's not a big deal. But, this going up, I felt stupid about that initially, but then it's like seeing this, bearish divergence in all of these tickers, the uranium tickers. It's like, I know it's going to pull back so I can buy back my shares lower than what I sold the one share at. Yeah, because I want to be adding 1 share a week to uranium, which I'm doing via NXE. But yeah, Nameless gold looked like it pumping today. So let's see, I've got to create a folder just for gold and like silver. GLD up 1%. Yeah, this is not something that I identified, but Gareth Soloway went over it, how this is. I mean, it looks kind of ugly, but there's this like huge left shoulder, head, shoulder here. And so this neckline of this inverse head and shoulders, he, is thinking that if this goes from, that high to that neckline, and then you break, that would bring price to 230. It's up 20%. I don't have GLD because of the share price. I have AAAU, which is Goldman Sachs Physical Gold, I believe. Yeah, Physical Gold ETF. And yeah, so I just add a share to this every week. And I'm just waiting for this to go up, and I'm just going to kind of forget about it. One thing that was really interesting, I was really surprised by it, was the Gold Miners Index, or ETF, that I put a video out on it yesterday, I believe. And yeah, just like looking at And I happened to do the previous video on this on the monthly, like at the end of December. So it's like I might do this, routinely at the end of every month. That might be interesting. I should actually note it in my calendar to do GDX at the end of February, the 29th this year. But yeah, this pretty red for the month of January, down almost 10%. Bearish engulfing candle there, just barely, but it doesn't look so good. But yeah, this is the miners though, very different, or not very different, but different from from gold. Oh yeah, lithium. I think I put some lithium ones in here. I've got to reorganize my commodity stuff. I got to reorganize all of my watch lists. But yeah, I guess I got these alerts here. So I'm just kind of waiting for those. And then there's, yeah, I think SQM. I think this is, lithium. But it's all a similar price. So I don't see the benefit in that. Let's see. FMC, what's this? Agricultural sciences. Herbicides. I don't know what this is. And silver. Yeah. Let's see. This is one. Ooh, this is cool. I'm intrigued by this because I think I made a video. I think the last one I did on Applied Digital. I'm not sure exactly when it came out. But I was compelled by my video. I don't always partake in I'd say 50% of what I cover I partake in, and it's usually very small positions just because I'm spread too thin in other positions. But this, I had a very small position in this, but I bought the dip over here, and I made a video on it hitting 550, and so it's like, oh, okay, well, or thinking that it'll go up to 550. And then so I placed the order to sell at 550, and then in the pre-market, I think price didn't go to 550, but my order was filled. And then I bought back the shares. I think that was one share, and then I ended up buying 3 shares down here and selling them up here at 550. So that's a really small swing, but just kind of like do I have conviction in the analysis that I'm doing? Just trying to exercise that better. And yeah, that worked out beautifully. It went up to 558. And so oops. I'm just going to pull up when I put that video out because that was spot on. Let's see. That was I just want to see so I can point out where the price was in the chart. Yes, that was 8 days ago on the 24th. So right here, I put out a video entitled Applied Digital arrived at key level of support, this yellow line. And then in that video, I had suggested it go up to 550, partly because of this gap fill. But I feel like more largely, I'm not that convinced by gaps that need to be filled. I feel like it takes too long and sometimes they don't get filled. But yeah, the 618 retracement, that pretty happy with that. And actually, because that was going to the upside though, more properly, I probably should have done the retracement this way. And yeah, wow. I'm actually going to do this to the cent because I'm pretty interested to see what that number is. This is 865 and the low is 62. Okay, what's that retracement? 557 and the high was 558. That's pretty cool. Man. I love I didn't used to use Fibonacci retracements, but I feel like they're so useful. and that, it's like you don't want to base your trade on one indicator. You want it to be multiple things that stand out. And so for this, it's like you have the 618 for this on the way up. You also have the 236 on the way down, all being right around 550. Plus you have this gap that was there. And so with a gap fill, it's like price goes up to it, but then it tends to get rejected because there was, I mean, this is a small gap though, so I guess this is a bad example, but it's, people holding the bag there. And so they just want to sell when it gets up to there. And then price pulls back. And yeah, wow, that's really cool. I'm impressed with that. That's cool chart. But yeah, where is it going to go after this? I don't know, maybe back down to 350. Who knows? So yeah, and that's another thing too. It's like if a trade's successful, like this one was, and it was a small position, that doesn't matter. The trade was successful. And then it's like, well, what do I see next? What makes sense to me with this? I don't know. If I don't know, then I shouldn't play it. Because then it's like, oh, well, it comes back to like 486. That was a key level. I could buy more. But then it just goes through it. So I'll probably avoid this until I see something that really stands out as being clear. But yeah, I mean, you can make the argument, oh, it's, cheap per share, but then it's like, okay, but then if it goes down to here, then holding the bag, having money locked up. Let's see. Yeah, and I think it was like somebody was asking, I forget I think Bao was asking a competitor of ChargePoint, and that would like Beam would be one of them, I believe. Clean energy company develops patents, designs, engineers, manufactures clean mobility solutions. So electric vehicle charging, yeah. So this company would be a competitor of ChargePoint, but then there's also EVgo that I should have mentioned during the stream. They are a fast charging network, and yeah, not looking so good. Yeah, maybe there's something here though. I don't know if that's compelling. Yeah, I mean, prices, it's bounced in and out of it, but yeah, that's pretty cool. Like these, near touch here, touch there is resistance. I suppose I could adjust the top of it. No, well, if I adjusted the top of it, then that wouldn't be in it. But like, if I moved it up to include these levels. But yeah, it's probably not as useful. But yeah, that's pretty cool. The price has just been zigzagging around that, just steadily going down over time. But yeah, and I think it's been an hour, so I think I might close this down unless there's a last request. But I'm going to try to get that Peloton video out, a clip from the beginning. Hopefully that was interesting. But yeah, I wanted to record that before the stream, and it's like I don't have time and I'm not going to be able to do it tomorrow. I'm going to be working nights the next week, and that's just going to drain me. I'm going to try to keep putting out 3 videos a day seems to work for me, but I'm going to get exhausted with work. So, yeah, we'll see what's going on with Disney. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, maybe I'll look at Bitcoin before I close this. I haven't really been paying too close attention to Bitcoin. I have a little buy order every Monday morning, and I am just waiting for it to come back in here. But yeah. Oh, and beyond, this is something that I Yeah, I guess I had an alert, $7. Um, where is this coming to? The 786, it might be settling around where it's at. Hmm. But yeah, I think I'm gonna be closing this down, so I'll just throw up the little subscribe thing. Man, I'm losing my voice, or just gotta clear my throat. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. I feel like this was a little bit less dynamic of a stream than yesterday's. But yeah, I guess that, it's not too surprising because we went over a lot of cool stuff yesterday, went over some nice charts tonight. And so, what I'm going to be doing for the next stream, Sunday evening, I probably won't be able to do it for too late. Like, I'll be able to do the hour stream like normal, but probably won't be able to hang out after because I have to go to work after the stream. But then on Monday, in the after hours, I'm going to stream Palantir's uh, earnings call that was requested, and I've never done that before, so I thought that might be fun. Um, and so, yeah, I need to register for that, but I'll be doing that Monday afternoon, and then I should still be able to do next Thursday stream, so that should be cool. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. I think everybody's left. But yeah, I'll see you all Sunday evening, 9 p.m. Eastern. Thanks a lot for hanging out.